All right, we've been through your physical health check and everything is looking great at 20 weeks. I thought we could sit down and have a chat as to how you're feeling since last time we saw each other.
Yeah, sounds good. Overall, I've had morning sickness for the past couple of days. However, that seems to have resolved. I have also noticed to be feeling a little bit more tired since our last appointment.
That's normal during the second trimester. How are you feeling emotionally?
I haven't been feeling the best, to be honest. My main worry is that my partner has lost his job, and it really has taken the strain on both of us. Now I'm the only one working for the both of us.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been really hard trying to look after myself and the baby, but still having to stay late at work sometimes. It really does put a strain on me. It can be very hard to relax.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a stressful situation to deal with, especially during pregnancy. What have you been doing to manage that?
I have been trying to exercise more and get a little bit more sleep. My partner and I usually like to have a glass of wine or two during the week after a stressful day of work. I do remember that at our last appointment, we briefly spoke about alcohol in pregnancy. Lately, I have been having a glass or two to relax. I thought that wouldn't hurt and would be okay. Is it okay to have just a few glasses?
All right, so what I'm hearing is that having a couple of glasses of wine is something you enjoy doing, especially with your partner during these hard times. It sounds like you really care about your baby and you want to take care of yourself and do what's right for your baby. I can also hear that sometimes having that glass of wine feels like a good thing to relax, but unfortunately, the safest thing to do in pregnancy is to avoid alcohol, as even having small amounts, there can be some risks involved.
Oh, really? I know we briefly touched on this topic during my last appointment, but I guess I hadn't realized the facts and was hoping it was an old wives' tale. Can we talk a little bit more about this topic and what the actual evidence behind it is?
Yeah, of course. A lot of women don't realize that alcohol can actually be harming to you and your baby during pregnancy. It's not surprising that you didn't know all of this before, and it's okay that you didn't. I'm happy you brought this up, and yeah, we can talk about it a bit further.
Okay, great. I guess my partner would like more information about this as well, as it's something we usually do together. He's actually in the waiting room. Do you mind if we include him in this?
Not at all. Let's bring him in. Hi, Jake. It's nice to see you again.
Thanks. Nice to see you too.
The midwife and I were talking about drinking during pregnancy and thought you'd like to be part of the conversation.
Oh, what about it? I thought a few glasses was all right.
All right. What information have you both received about alcohol so far? I just want to know where you stand and what you know about it.
Well, now that I think about it, most of my friends did continue to drink throughout their pregnancy. My mum had a glass of red wine every day while she was pregnant with me, so I guess I didn't really see what the problem is.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've been quite stressed lately and I've had a lot on my mind. I haven't really thought about whether it's safe for her or the baby to be drinking. I just, wanted to do something together to relax. But it's great that we're having this discussion and it's opened my eyes.
And I'm glad you're both on the same page and that we've opened this up for discussion. I'm here to support you both. Would you both feel comfortable if I gave you a bit more information?
Yeah,
Yes,
that'd
that
be
would
great.
be great.
Okay. So I understand that you're only having small amounts of wine, but there are a few risks involved. All the research at this point says that the safest option is to have no alcohol during pregnancy, because even small amounts can increase the chances of, for instance, stillbirth or your baby being born too soon. At the extreme end, you run the risk of what's called fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, you may have heard of this before. It can only affect your baby's physical and cognitive development with heavy drinking. I know you're not drinking heavily, but we don't know where the safe limit is for alcohol. What we do know is that even small amounts of alcohol could also affect the child later on in life with memory and learning difficulties, for example. So it's really good to have an idea of these risks. Now, I've just thrown a bunch of information at you. What do you think about everything?
Well, to be honest, I had very little information about the risks involved. I would like to cut down, but what am I supposed to do to relax?
Well, I guess there are a lot of things you can do to relax. What other activities do you both like to do together?
Oh, well, I guess we enjoy cooking together, going for walks with our dogs.
Yeah, we like to do those things. And maybe we can try that instead of just going straight to the alcohol when we come home each day.
All right. So it sounds like you've thought of some really good strategies then. What else do you think might help you if you want to stop drinking?
I reckon if I wasn't drinking every night, that might help as well. Right, love?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. So, given you've got some really good ideas about how to stop drinking, what are you thinking now about cutting down or stopping? It sounds like on one hand, you really want to look after your baby and yourself. But on the other hand, you sometimes find that you really just want to relax and have that drink.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess at this stage, I do really want to try and stop drinking since it sounds like it's the safest option, but I'm just not confident that I can do it.
Hey, that's really great that you're thinking about stopping drinking. Personally, I think it sounds like you're doing a really great job of taking care of yourself and your baby so far. I hear that you're saying you're not really confident about quitting. It would be good to get a better idea about how important you feel it is to make this change and how confident you feel about it. Do you think you can rate your confidence level for me about making this change on a scale from, say, 1 to 10? 10 being very confident and 0 being not at all confident.
Oh, well, I guess at about a 6.
Hey, that's great. 6 is a really good number. What do you think are some of the things that make it a 6? What are the things that do make you feel confident about making this change?
Probably now that I've got things out in the open and Jake is here on the same page. Also, now that I know the facts about some of the risks involved of drinking in pregnancy, I feel quite motivated to change.
100%. I'm here for you.
Hey, that's great. So these are some really positive things. It sounds like you both have some great strengths. For example, you've both been really honest in talking to me about this, and you're both very committed to taking care of the baby and yourselves. What about how important you feel it is? It sounds like you think it's pretty important. Would you be able to give me a number for that too?
I'd say a 10. This is really important to me and that I'm doing the right thing for my baby.
Okay, that's amazing. That score is very helpful to keep in mind. It might also be helpful to understand what are some of the barriers, which mean to say that you're not feeling 100% confident about this. You mentioned stress and also alcohol being something relaxing and enjoyable.
Probably those are the main things. It's sort of become a bit of a tradition and a habit to have a glass or two with dinner, so I feel like it might be hard to get out of that routine.
Yeah, those things can be really difficult. When you've made other changes in your life, how have you managed those things? The feeling of breaking a habit or a tradition?
I don't know. Jake, what do you think? You probably noticed what I did when I started trying to exercise a bit more or eat healthier when I got pregnant.
Yeah, I think I noticed you did some more planning. We started cooking together, going for walks. I remember you got me to do some of the groceries. But you know best, love. I mean, that's just what I remember.
Ah, sounds like you did more planning and you used Jake as a support, and I think those things sound really great. Are there other things you did? It's great that Jake was able to observe those things, but he's right. You always know yourself best.
Yeah, you're right. I did plan out my meal, and I also tried replacing some of the foods I used to eat a lot with more healthy alternatives, like having some fresh fruit or cooking a low-fat dessert.
That sounds amazing. I think all of these strategies can be used for this as well. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I could try and plan relaxing things to do, which means maybe I won't feel like drinking. I could even replace the alcohol with non-alcoholic drinks that I think are relaxing and special.
100%. And don't forget, you can get me to pick up things a bit more in terms of housework. So when you get home, you don't feel so stressed and feel like you want to drink. And I won't be drinking anymore either, now that I know it's not good for you or the baby.
Great. You've both done a really good job today, and thank you so much for sharing. So to summarize, today we've discussed some of the risks which can be involved in using alcohol during pregnancy. And Mary, you've identified that you'd like to stop drinking, but you're not 100% confident yet that you can achieve this. Both of you have come up with some really great strategies that you might be able to use to help with this goal. How about in our next appointment, we talk about this a little bit more and we can see where you're up to and how some of these strategies we discussed are working out.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I'll try some of those things and we can pick this up in our next appointment.
Thank you, Mary. Have a good one.
Thank you.